Welcome to a soggy popcorn movie review of Ted 2. The 2012 Seth MacFarlane-directed comedy Ted starred Mark Wahlberg as a mid-30s man-child who spent his days laying around, smoking weed and cracking crude jokes with his teddy bear, which magically came to life when he was a kid and grew up to become his best and only friend. Now we have the imaginatively titled Ted 2, which is about Mark Wahlberg playing a mid-30s man-child who lays around smoking weed and cracking crude jokes with his teddy bear called Ted. As you can tell, nothing much has changed. The first film was about the juvenile friendship between Mark Wahlberg's character John and his teddy bear Ted, and how that friendship keeps getting in the way of John's relationship with his girlfriend Laurie, played by Mila Kunis. There's also a story arc about a creepy stalker played by Giovanni Ribisi called Donnie, who wants to kidnap Ted for no particular reason. In Ted 2, John and Laurie have broken up, and Ted is facing a legal battle over whether or not he is considered a real person by the state of Massachusetts.
Oh my God, Teddy, look at this. It says if we want to have a baby, you're going to have to prove you're a person in a court of law.
This is a nightmare.
For the case, they are assigned a young, inexperienced lawyer called Samantha, who's played by Amanda Seyfried.
Who is that?
Another fresh-faced, big-eyed actress who seems a little bit too young to be Mark Wahlberg's love interest. There's also another plotline about Giovanni Ribisi's obsessive character Donnie, who's back to kidnap Ted, for no apparent reason, again. So nothing much has really changed. It's pretty much the same plotline as the first one, repeated, and just substituted one girl for another, kept the same villain, and then just filled it with adolescent jokes. It really feels like one of those straight-to-DVD spin-offs, like a Trek the Halls DVD, which they rush out just in time for Christmas. The only difference is this is supposed to be a fully blown sequel, and it's full of dick jokes.
What is that? What are you doing?
Getting ready, dude.
What do you mean you're getting ready? What are you doing with your hand?
I'm doing this for you, so when I get in, I can just bust it out.
But the plotline of Ted 2 doesn't veer very far from the plotline of Ted 1. But I have to face it, the audience isn't there for the plot, they're there for the jokes. And the more ridiculous and the more crass, the better. But the problem is, Ted 2 just isn't really funny, the same way as Ted 1 wasn't particularly funny. Don't get me wrong, I'm a massive Family Guy fan, I love it and I watch it pretty religiously. I love the political incorrectness and the absurdity of its humour. But there's absurd and there's just turd, and Ted 2 is the latter.
Oh my God! Who did that?
The problem is, the jokes were too juvenile, even for my taste. I love a good bumhole joke, doesn't everybody? But repetitive jokes like googling black cocks or fighting for the last beer in the fridge or having too much porn on your computer, there is such a thing. It's not exactly cutting edge comedy. And the cultural references, they fell pretty flat too, or maybe it was just too American-centric for me. And that scene where they had to jerk off that random NFL player in his sleep to steal his sperm. Okay, that was pretty funny. But that was the only one. Apart from that, it just wasn't funny.
Catch!
What the? Dude, that's somebody's kid! Fight some shit!
But I have to confess, in the country I watched it in, where I'm currently living, it was heavily censored. Typical. For example, there was that one scene when they first met Samantha the lawyer, went into her office. After a couple of jokes about how young she looked, suddenly it cut to an outdoor scene and Mark Wahlberg was stumbling around like he just spent an hour on a roller coaster. I assume it was like a drug scene, because I think in the Red Band trailer she gets a bong out or something and they must probably get high as a kite. Maybe there's a whole massive scene of like a trip that they go on that was completely cut out, I don't know. So it's hard to judge a film fully without seeing a few perhaps key scenes. If anyone's seen those scenes and wants to comment and let me know if they redeem the rest of the film, then go ahead. But I'm pretty willing to bet that even without the censorship, the film is pretty shit.
Overruled! Sidebar!
All in all, there isn't really much to say about this film. It is what it is. The jokes come in thick and fast, but like Michael J. Fox taking a leak, they mostly miss. There is one good thing though. The CGI of Ted looks really good. It looks really lifelike and fully textured. It's just a shame I can't say the same thing about any of the movie's characters or its really lazy plotline.
Hashtag Monday.
Help me!
Thanks for watching, and if you've got any comments about whether or not you agree with me or you think I'm talking absolute shit, then please let me know. So please subscribe and I'll hopefully see you next time. See ya.